on the road. All right, let's talk about checklists. Now, I'm not going to make you wait until the end of this podcast to hear about how I almost killed myself when I laugh about it now, but it wasn't funny then, when I was a freelance charter pilot in the late 70s. So I was flying a twin engine aircraft full of cargo from Corning, New York to Latrobe Airport, which is outside of Pittsburgh. And then I was going to take a short hop to my home base, Rostraver Airport, outside of Pittsburgh. So I landed at Latrobe and I dropped off my cargo. And since I was there and I was hungry, I decided to have lunch at the famous Blue Angels restaurant. So I had my lunch, and then I went out and jumped into the plane for the short 10-minute flight to Rostraver Airport, my home base. So I taxied out, I lined up on the center line, I checked all the engine gauges, I accelerated to the blue line, which was the takeoff speed, and I started flying. Yeah, for about 10 seconds I'm flying. I was very close to the ground, and it was too late to just land straight ahead because something was desperately wrong. The plane was violently swinging its nose to the right. One of the engines had quit. Now, when an engine on a twin-engine airplane quits, it's like putting a big piece of plywood, okay, vertically on your up into the wind, stopping the airflow on one side of the plane. And on the other side of the plane, the propeller's trying to pull you forward as fast as it can. So it's like violently twisting you. Well, planes don't fly sideways, let me tell you that. So thank God I had good training other than skipping my checklist that day. So here's the sequence I immediately went into. Flaps up, gear up, idle foot, idle engine, confirm, right engine is out, power off, mixture off, feather the right prop, maintain the blue line. Tom, you better fly this aircraft or you're dead. And I would have crashed and burned on the football field where the Pittsburgh Steelers used to practice, which was right near Latrobe Airport. So I got the plane flying, just limping along, and I declared an emergency. I mean, the old joke is with pilots is if you lose an engine on a twin-engine aircraft, well, the other engine just flies you to the scene of the crash. Okay, so they just don't want to fly very well at all on one engine. And thank God I had already dumped my cargo off, so the plane was a little bit lighter. But anyway, so I got it flying. I declared an emergency. I limped the airplane back to come in for a landing, and then I got the plane on the ground and taxied to the ramp with the fire trucks following me. And it was pretty darn embarrassing, but I guess it was better than being dead and show big charcoal Tom. So when I got out to check what had gone wrong, the right fuel tank was empty. It was an old plane, and the fuel gauge was stuck. See, my pre-flight checklist would have had me actually look into each tank, the right and the left tanks, to verify the gas was in there. I didn't do it, and it nearly cost me my life. Now, even though I was a seasoned pilot, I thought, it's no big deal for this short flight to my home base. And boy, was I wrong, and I never made that mistake again. Okay, that's enough drama, I guess. All right. So in most cases, you aren't facing life and death situations in your business, but using checklists has enormous advantages, which I'll cover now. All right, so checklists help you stay organized and help to make sure you don't skip any important steps in whatever you're doing. Now, when I first started doing webinars and other live events, there was a lot to learn and to prepare. So in the middle of the live event, I wasn't stuck because I hadn't prepared, I don't know, let's say a visual, or hadn't put the visual in the software in advance, and I'm scrambling, or else I just can't show it because it's a live event. Even such mundane things as turning my cell phone off, having a bottle of water within reach, having the cell